Co-Chairman, Your Excellencies, honoured delegates, colleagues, my organisation, Saferworld, promotes peace around the world. What I'm going to say reflects technical analysis we provided in a new brief measuring peace from 2015, an indicator framework in action. I've got 3 general points and 3 specific points on Goal 16. So first, the general points. Monitoring all global targets with global shared indicators is essential if there's to be real accountability for commitments made under the framework. It's my first point. The second is that member states also need to commit to investing the finance for credible and impartial monitoring that matches the ambition of the goals and targets being adopted. The third point is that the contribution to be made to measuring Goal 16 and other goals by third parties is huge and should not be overlooked by member states. The post-2015 process has been inclusive until now, but when it comes to the work on indicators, we must ensure that the door is not shut to CSOs, research institutes, companies, and UN agencies when they are still needed. They must have a recognised role to keep the ambition high and to put the best know-how at the disposal of member states. Third parties can ensure the feasibility of monitoring more issues in more countries. They can also make monitoring a more credible process, which the public around the world expects. Then on Goal 16, we know the UNSC's report is preliminary, but it's not optimistic enough about the potential for monitoring what matters under Goal 16. Too few indicator options are assessed, and a conversation is needed about a longer list of promising indicators before particular options are dismissed. For example, the assessment of the indicators on corruption as unfeasible at this stage is extraordinary when we know that data on these indicators are collected by multiple actors for a very large number of countries. As our detailed work on this has repeatedly shown, the primary challenge of monitoring corruption, bribery, access to information, illicit financial flows, levels of violence, access to justice, rule of law, accountability, and citizen participation is not a technical challenge. The methodologies exist for measuring these issues all around the world. Good data is available for large proportions of the globe in each case. Which brings me to my second point, that many of the most promising initiatives to measure the core issues under Goal 16 are being taken by states and third parties in the context worst affected by conflict, violence, and weak institutions. In particular, African actors are leading the way on this. The challenges really lie at the level of ambition to measure new things and the willingness to resource innovation. We are here to ask you to keep this ambition and your willingness high. My final point, we need to live up to the assertion made by the Open Working Group that people are at the centre of sustainable development. If this is so, public perceptions data must be used when monitoring many issues across the framework. They're a critical source of information on the realities of the peace, justice and governance issues that lie at the heart of Goal 16. When building peace, it is essential to understand levels of public confidence in the progress being made. The chance to get feedback on whether the public has confidence in progress and on which issues the public feels more needs to be done, that's not, in my experience, a sensitive issue, but it's rather a vital tool for policymakers. It offers them the crystal ball they need to prevent unrest constructively before it emerges. So the lesson from initiatives like the Shasa initiative to monitor peace and governance issues in Africa is that governments have the most to gain from using the latest tools to measure peace, justice and governance and people's confidence in them. I'll stop there. Thanks for the time.